Hi, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat mga kababayan, mga ka-go. So nandito pa rin po tayo ngayon sa kung saan ay Prescon po ng nakikita nyo naman po sa inyong harapan mga kababayan yung gagawin po ditong press conference, no? Kung saan ito pong si Maharlika Luka-Luka Maharlika
Luka-Luka.
ayun, siya po ay sisintensya na.
So mag-ibisi pala sila. Trial by jury yan. Sa US.
Pero ganun mo ano po.
Yan, parang di mo nakikita yung balbon niya.
Yung balbon eh.
Yan ang maganda sa mic eh. Mga boom mic. Kahit mahal.
So hold on for a minute po mga kababayan. Diyan lang po kayo at antayin po natin mag-start. It's about to start in 5 minutes. So inunaan na lang natin para at least mamaya ay dire-diretso na po yung gagawing press conference. So paki-like at paki-share na lang mga ka-go yung atin pong live streaming ngayon.
Baka maano mo po. Magtihit.
Tinatamad ako mag-live ng pangalan. Naka-live na ba kayo?
Hindi pa.
Ako naka-live mo. Kita ka na dyan.
Naka-live pa?
Ano ba yan?
Mukha ko pa.
Ano gagawin?
Para sa Wednesday.
Ayusin mo yung pangalan mo, Jaron. Jason nilalagay mo eh.
Hindi ako yun.
Mga kumain si Mami Pin lang po yan. Pasensyahan nyo na po yan. Bibiro lang ako, wala.
Kakala ko naka-live.
Hindi ako naka-live ako.
Dito, live pa ako yun.
Welcome to the Ilocos Norte. Ay, Ilocos Norte ay napakaganda. Mahirap kasi pag-walking.
Space pa rin.
Ano, para sa pronunciation.
Ako na lang bahala.
Sa pronunciation talaga, mahina ako sa pronunciation.
Oops!
Matigas yung dila.
So it's about to start mga kababayan ako sa saglit lang po at magantay lang po kayo dyan ng sandali at magsisimula na po.
Ano, pinili. Parang nilalala ko lang.
Hindi ka pa binaalala yan.
Di ba kasi yung baso ba na gano'n, di ba? Tapos ginanyan ko tuwa-tawa eh. Parang may naalala. About yung bata. Hindi mo, nagits ko yun.
So sa lahat po ng magtatanong kung ano pong ginagawa natin dito ay kami po ay meron po ngayong kasalukuyang nagaganap na press conference na kung saan po ang itatopic namin. Ang pag-uusapan dito ay si Maharlika, no? Dahil nga po sa ginagawa nito, nakita nyo naman, naririnig kung ano yung ginagawa niyang pang-iinsulto sa ibang tao. Diba, na kahit na nakikita natin na walang katibayan, basta makangak-ngak lang, minsan nagsasalita ng kung ano-ano. Yun po ang pag-uusapan dito ngayon.
Kung ano,
Hayaan niyo po siya na magsalita kung halimbawa sasabihin niya po naman yung demokrasya. Hayaan lang po siya. Kasi meron namang batas na umiiral po, di ba?
Cancel na naman ang order. Talaga po mga rider ng Lazada.
Okay, let me introduce to you our MCC, Attorney Brian Go, one of our legal staff, legal counsel.
Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody was able to eat wonderful lunches in Las Roses. So first of all, we would like to express our most heartfelt appreciation to everybody present here today. All those present here today that are here today to hear the truth, the side of Mr. Adelbaku. So special thanks to our mass media partners here, as well as the bloggers here present today. Now, before we begin, a brief background of why we're gathered here today. So, as some of you may recognize, seated up front is Mr. Abel Bacudio. Mr. Bacudio is here today to conduct a press conference regarding the defamation case filed against Ms. Claire Eden Contreras. Now, Ms. Contreras is the defendant in this case and also introduces herself as Maharlika or Fair Lady Maharlika among numerous other names, and has continuously and incessantly made defamatory remarks against Mr. Abel Bacudio. As such, Mr. Bacudio has engaged Attorney Oliver Bacay Jr. to be the main and lead counsel for this case. Oliver is qualified to practice in the Philippines as well as in New York. He actually obtained his Juris Doctor degree in Ateneo de Manila University School of Law and ranked third in 2008 bar examinations. He pursued his master's in intellectual property law at the prestigious New York University, and he's also a resident partner of Bulantay Baclay LLP based in Manhattan, New York. Accompanying him are Associates Bulapa and Lim Law, both honor graduates of the Ateneo de Manila University School of Law, attorneys Justin Resto and Ryan.
Wala ba kayo mga kamay? Thank you, Brian. I got a very generous and kind introductions. Thank you once again to our friend in the media and for bloggers. Thank you for being present here, because your presence here really is instrumental in helping us disclose the truth. Okay. Three preliminaries first before we begin. First is I'm going to give a very brief background of the case and what happened. Second, we will try to accommodate as much as possible all of your questions. But if the question relates to a matter of legal strategy and may affect the outcome of the case, please do bear with us. We may have to decline to answer that question. But please do hold on to your questions, because we will answer those after the trial, if this case goes into trial. And last, I think most of you, for most of you, this is the first time that we've met each other. Probably because I'm a shy type of guy, not in front of the camera. Yes. So that may be the reason. So, we're having all of those settled. Let's roll and brace yourself from a shy type of guy. No? So, about August of last year, August 2023, there was an outrageous and loathsome defamatory remark published by Miss Claire Eden Contreras, who also introduces herself as Maharlika. These defamatory statements were repeated multiple times in an almost monthly or even weekly basis. As time goes by, the attacks against Mr. Abel Bacudio became more rapid. There were various defamatory and outrageous allegations against Mr. Abel. But three things kept repeating. And these are, first, that Mr. Abel Bacudio allegedly gave a luxury timepiece to no other than Philippine Representative Ferdinand Alexander Araneta Marcos. Second, that Abel allegedly received kickbacks from DPWH projects. And third, that Abel and Abel's family received their Schengen visa through fraud, obtained their visa, Schengen visa through fraud, and which fraud was made through the assistance of Philippine First Lady Marie-Louise Araneta Marcos. We categorically deny all of those allegations, and we shall prove in a court of law that those are all false. We filed the case in California before the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, and we also demanded a jury trial. Partida lahat. Kasi sinasabi nila na kung dito daw lang yung case, dito. This will be a jury trial and the facts of the case will be determined by citizens of various walks of life, ordinary citizens. Ito natin papatunayan. Aside from those three main allegations, there are other outrageous, loathsome, and categorical attacks, character assassination attacks against Mr. Abel Bacudio. However, we shall present our proof during trial. To be the victim, or to be the victim of by saying that someone is engaged in corruption is serious. The desire to rid our society of corruption is universal. So when you are the victim of an allegation, of a false allegation, that you are engaged in corruption, normally and naturally, the society will frown upon you. So Abel's image has been severely damaged. At times, there were threats against the safety of Abel. And character assassination, or when your reputation is ruined,
Abel Bacudio.
the damage does not end with you alone. We know, long after you're gone, if your reputation is damaged, you will still suffer that. And this suffering transcends generation. Pati yung mga anak nyo, pag nasiraan kayo ng reputasyon, magsasuffer din. So the categorical attacks here are no question are willful and malicious. And with that, we're now ready to answer your questions. Any questions from our friend in the press?
Please feel free to raise your hand if there are any questions. We are more than glad to answer them. Yes, ma'am.
Ano-ano pong kaso ang inyong ipapile?
Na-file na po, hindi lang ipa-file. Na-file na po mga 2 weeks ago. It's an action for defamation in the U.S., which is a very serious offense in the U.S. The U.S. society frowns upon persons who are engaged in defamation because they cherish the value that one's good name should be protected. So for example, just 2 weeks ago, there was a huge verdict. There is a series of huge verdicts in the U.S. just recently. 2 weeks ago, there was a verdict against Mr. Trump for no less than a former president of the U.S. The jury awarded an award of
Opo,
$83
defamation yung
million.
ikinaso kay
$65
Claire
million
Maharlika.
in punitive damages and around $18.3 million in actual damages. So if we see this value, we know that the American society is serious. That you cannot just ruin the reputation of someone else. And in this case, it will be the U.S. society which will decide the case. Yes,
Kailan po kaya yung possible na mag-start na yung hearing?
possible na mag-start yung hearing. We have here, the court already issued a summons. And in that summons, it states within 21 days from receipt of the summons, the defendant must answer. Yes, sir.
In case na magkaroon ng guilty verdict, ano yung magiging penalty nito base sa US law?
In the US law, unlike here no pang defamation, libel, there's a statutory penalty for imprisonment or fine. In the US, there's no statutory penalty, but the jury will decide what will be the amount of damage. So another huge verdict which happened just last year, the amount was $1.1 billion in the case of against Alex Jones.
Follow-up question. Yung penalty ba, is it based on the personality of the aggrieved party? Because I know Abel is known as an international fashion designer, right? So
Yes,
attorney.
that will be taken into consideration.
Oh.
The amount of damage that was suffered by the victim, of course, will also depend on his stature in life. Because if you are a high-value, high-effort individual, definitely the value that the damage that you will suffer will also be more.
Parang ba, sa Pilipinas, meron po ba tayo na kaso?
As of now, none. There's no case yet, but we will not discount that possibility.
So sa US lang po sa ngayon.
As of now, yes.
Guilty verdict.
So,
Tapos imprisonment.
Tatanong ko lang po kung ano kayo yung duration nito na yung para matapos yung kaso, yung trial, tapos para mabigyan na siya ng kaparusahan.
Yung kaparasuhan po, that will depend on the age. So, it will depend on, just like the adage goes, the ball is in the defendant's court. Depende po yun sa moves nila because they can file an answer or they can delay and choose to delay to receive the summons. Or in most US cases, these are actually resolved amicably even before the case goes to trial. Maybe 70% of the cases in the US are settled amicably. So it will depend. But assuming that we will go into full jury trial, maybe that will take 3 years. There's another famous case, the Amber Heard case. That's also a defamation case. So that was the trial was finished in 2 to 3 years.
What if po hindi siya mag-respond o hindi siya makapag-cooperate dito po sa kaso na pinel sa kanya?
So that's also a possibility. Then the court will issue a judgment by default. If it's a default, the rules in the US and here in the Philippines are similar. All allegations in the complaint will be deemed admitted. Pareho lang po ang US Federal Rules on Evidence and the Philippine Rules of Civil Procedure and the evidence. If there's no answer, then all allegations in the complaint will be deemed admitted. And now we will go to the determination of monetary award phase. The jury will determine how much will be awarded.
Attorney, question lang po. Di ba si Catherine Lee, nag-fighting po siya ng kaso? Hindi ba yung possible din na pwedeng mag-join force sila ni Abel para mas maganda yung kaso?
Joint force, legally speaking, they have different causes of actions, different set of facts. It cannot be included in one case, and we already found the case. If that's what you mean by joint forces, that one action, they are just plaintiff co-taking one action, that won't be legally possible. But when you say joint force, that they share resources, or they share possible evidence, it's really a possibility, and that depends on the defendant.
Attorney, if the respondent po ay found guilty, meron bang imprisonment na kalakip?
In the US, defamation case is civil in nature. By itself, there's no imprisonment. But it is possible that in a defamation case, court will also issue a bench warrant. And I won't disclose now how it can happen because I may be opening my cards and for the defendant. But that's a possibility.
Well, magkakilala ba kayo personally ni Maharlika? Or kasi saan, anong pinagagalingan ng paninira niya sa'yo? Yung
pagtawag na sa inyo mali.
Actually, hi, thank you. Actually, nagkakilala kami because of the campaign. Tapos, because pareho kami yung paniniwala, pareho kami yung sinusuportahan. So, and then, nagkaroon kami ng communication. No, bigla na lang nagbago, hindi ko alam. Well, nakukwento ko sa kanya yung, kasi she stay in my condo because of that, nung election and then campaign. Nagkukwentuhan kami about buhay-buhay. So doon nga po yung lumabas yung, syempre nung bata pa ako, yung parang sabi ko, nako, ang hirap ng buhay, walang pambayad sa kuryente, parang ganon. Tapos, yun, siguro yun ang nilalabas niya ngayon. Pero that's my story before. Siyempre iba na ngayon. So yun, hindi ko alam kung saan ang gagaling talaga yung kanyang kaya.
So, kailan kayo nagkaroon ng fallout? Kailan kayo officially parang hindi na magkaibigan or balik
Last, I think 2003, nung August. August?
2020.
August. Yun, doon na yung parang, okay. So parang, ako naman as a fashion designer, may mga ginagawa kasi ako, doon lang talaga. So I'm a fashion designer, hindi pa ako political na ako. So medyo hindi lang ako komportable kasi iba yung pinag-uusapan ngayon. Kung pag-uusapan ito sa pagiging isang designer, okay ako. Ito kasi politika at saka medyo hindi naman ako yon. Kaya kay attorney na po yung bahala.
Ano pong naramdaman nyo nung nilabas niyo yung mga statements na against you? Ano po unang reaction nyo?
Siyempre medyo nakakalungkot kasi sabi nga niya BFF. So nakakalungkot, pero ako naman sabi nga ng aking pamilya, yung aking sister, yung parang pagdasal na lang natin. Kaya lang medyo ngayon may mga naapektuhan tao na hindi dapat kasama dito. Na parang nadadamay sila. Siyempre, of course, the first family is nadadamay. Na hindi naman kami masyadong client ko lang sila as a designer. So medyo nakakahiya rin sa family.
Possible po ba na ma-take down yung YouTube channel ni Eden Contreras?
Yung YouTube channel, the entire YouTube channel, that's possible but not likely. Because in the US, they have a very strong First Amendment right. First Amendment right is the freedom of speech. And they frown upon prior restraint. Yung prior restraint po yung wala pang sasabihin, pipigilan na natin. They will allow you to speak. However, if you speak and that's injurious and tortuous to another, then they will really hold you accountable. That's your policy and the values of the US.
Attorney, tanong ko lang po kung how many percent po kaya ang ating dito sa kaso na masisigurado natin na panalo ang kaso natin? Ilang porsyento po?
In my life, it's my policy never to say 100% because there are things outside of our control. So, kung sure ako, I'm sure ko exactly 99.99%. In this case, I'm saying 99.99%.
So, panalo na tayo, attorney.
99.99 lang because, jury yung
Parang
decide and I
attorney,
cannot
ayaw
control
mo
the
pang
mind
sabihin
of
ang
the jury.
100% eh.
Hanggang 99.99 lang talaga yan because as they say, there's nothing sure. But if you are going to assess the case,
Yeah.
yung tatlong sinabi ko kanina, simple lang actually yan. Nagbigay ba ng luxury type piece niya? It's very easy to prove or disprove. And also the visa. The visa actually is very easy to prove. So, if the visa was issued fraudulent. There are other allegations, and we intentionally did not include that in the complaint as a matter of legal strategy. Sometimes half-truths or taken out of context. Kaya nga nagsasabi niya, dati daw, walang pambayad ng kuryente, but less than a year, nung nakaupo si PBBM, then nakabili na ng bahay.
Diba? So,
Half-truth.
malicious.
Normally, I would not disclose this now in this early phase of the litigation. But para pagbigyan ko po kayo kung anong ibig sabihin mo. Yes, dati walang pambayad po si Adel ng kuryente. But gaano dati? dati yun, when he was still young, buhay ka pa, he was sure. He is proud to say, during that time, talagang wala silang pagbabayan. Pero hindi yung dati na before PBBM start, naghihirap siya kasi na-cancel culture daw yan. That's definitely now. True. And it's very easy to prove that. Wala kang na-miss na bill payments. We can
Pinay-stay nga
go
siya
to
sa
the
condo.
records of bill payments. See again. Okay, that's one. Number two, may nabili daw na bahay worth 26 billion. Paano nyo pagkaintindi po nila? Because suddenly, kumangkam ng pera at may pagpili na it's how you understand
Actually,
it.
ganun po talaga.
Yeah, because it was presented out of context. Nabili yung bahay na installment, low down payment, low interest. So if you look at it that way, 30 years to pay, then suddenly you will see, ay, ano naman yan, within normal range naman, that, kahit that's acceptable. That's within the range, no? It was purchased using loan. And if you view it that way, para makikita mo, walang pangangatang. If we will present this to jury, you know very well na ganyan yan, hindi yan 26 million na nilabas nila, but how come hindi mo na sinabi yan? Then we can say that the intent was clearly malicious and it was willful to damage the good reputation of a person.
Si Maharlika po ba, hindi ko din po kasi sure, is she an American citizen? Ano po ba ang status po niya sa US?
We do not have a power to determine or to have a statement from the US government. But according to her, she is an American citizen and she is no longer, according to her, she is no longer a Filipino citizen. She denounced her Filipino citizenship, according to her.
Abel, question ko for Abel. Abel, may personal akong tanong sa'yo. Totoo ba na sa kagaya ng ini-issue ni Maharlika sa'yo na binigyan mo ba talaga si Sandro Marcos ng Rolex?
Baka akong bibigyan. Dun sa statement ko po, we categorically deny that statement. Yung three main topics that she keeps repeating. First, the luxury timepiece was given to Philippine Representative Ferdinand Marcos. We categorically deny that. So yung three.
Well, question. Kasi di ba naging magkaibigan kayo ni Maharlika? Tumira sa condo mo, kapit sundo, di ba? Pati, alam na lahat. Dito, what urged you to do this action? Considering na naging magkaibigan kayo.
Actually, for the past few months, parang ayaw ko talaga. Kasi parang focus ako sa ginagawa ko sa designer. Pero mas may naaapektuhan kasi mga like my family, my niece, and then my sister, and my brother-in-law na hindi naman kasama dito na maayos silang namumuhay at maayos kami namumuhay. In-accept ko siya bilang kaibigan. Actually, yun, katulad ng sinabi mo nga, binihisan din. Pero isa-isa biglang nagbago talaga yung lahat. So, ako naman yung tao na parang takot kami sa Diyos. So, ipagdadasal namin hanggang katapusan ng buhay. Kaya lang ito talagang maraming tao na nadadamay. Na my family, the first family. So parang nakakahiya rin sa mga taong nakapaligid sa akin. So I think this is about time na parang sasabihin ko rin sa inyo na talagang lahat ng sinasabi niya ay hindi totoo.
May question lang ako yung ano. Yung bang mga sinusuot na nagaling sa akin, hindi ba yun?
Yung mga una is binibigay ko. And then, yung iba naman is may mga nag-o-order. Pero konti lang yung mga nag-order sa kanya. Mga apat, mga ganun. Pero yung mga sinusuot niya like yung inauguration, tapos yung mga sinusuot niya campaign, binibigay ko talaga yun. Kasi gano'n naman ako bilang kaibigan.
Ano ba? Yung sobrang ng inauguration, magkano yung price nun? Kasi gusto ko itong pagawaan mo eh.
Actually, hindi, bigay lang yun.
Pero kung ibebenta mo siya, magkano kaya?
I don't know, sister kung may alam. Hindi kasi ako nagpipresyo pagdating may sister yung lahat.
May tanong lang ako, Abel. Naging magkaibigan nga kayo. Gusto ko lang malaman kung anong klase ba ang kaibigan si Maharlika? Kung siya ay... Sorry po, kasi yun ang tawag ko sa kanya. Sorry po. Ano po siyang uri ng kaibigan? Nung siya po ay inyong kakilala at nakatira siya sa inyo?
Kasi nag-reach out siya sa akin. So ako naman that time, wala akong... Kung sino yung pupunta sa akin at naniniwala sa akin, buong puso kong i-accept ko. So siya naman is naging okay naman siya. Naging okay siya. But syempre may nagdadalawang isip din ako. Pero kaya hindi lahat ng kinukwento ko sa kanya is buong buhay ko. Yung mga konti lang pag nag-open lang kami about sa ako nga, ganyan. Yun lang, pero definitely yung buong buhay ko. Ano nakwento sa kanya?
Mabait po ba siya?
Yeah, okay. Ako, gano'n naman ako eh. As long as wala kang ginagawa sa aking masama, mabait ka. Eh ngayon, may ginawa siya, hindi okay. Hindi ko na siya
Sir, tanong ko lang, no? Saan ba nagmula itong parang away sa inyo ni Maharlika?
Actually, hindi ko po alam kung saan ang galing. Attorney.
As I've said, first published defamatory statements against happened in August 24 of 2023. Yun yung una natin nalaman na negative statements. Why that statement was made, I have theories. Please allow me not to disclose those theories. If this case goes to jury trial, we will have a discovery procedures. Kasi sa US kasi may discovery procedure. Buksan natin lahat ng email, mga text messages, correspondence with other people, and it may shed light what is the motive behind why these statements were written. Because it came as a surprise, a real surprise, like nothing in friend, and then suddenly, ayan, nagbigay ka daw ng luxury items. And it's completely untrue. So if it happened to you, wow, shocking. You from someone natira mo sa pinapasok mo sa bahay mo. So that's a shocking incident. As to why, as of now we have theories, but I don't want to disclose.
So you're filing this in the US?
We filed this, we already filed it, and the court already issued summons against the defendant.
Can you give, Mr. Abel, can you give us a peek into the frame of mind ni Ms. Maharlika? Kasi recently I've seen clips of her, parang napaka-rabbit niya. Do you think parang may konting problema siya? Honestly, when I watch her clips, parang kulang na lang, umikot yung ulo mo.
You've seen Amber Heard versus Depp. Kanya-kanya silang expert witness on professional doctors who will evaluate the mental state of a person. So it will be better for us to also resort to that. No? We ask a professional on mental health, on mental state, kung anong opinion niya. And of course, again, we cannot, I think we are not qualified kung anong nasa it would be better, sir, if we wait for trial and we are given the chance to have an expert on mental status examine the defendant.
Alright, thank you very much.
Posible po ba yung cease and desist? Possible po ba yung cease and desist to stop Maharlika from further defaming your client? Meron po bang ganun sa US?
Possible, but again, very difficult. And the answer is similar to the earlier question. The US has a very strong First Amendment rights, and they frown upon prior restraint. No? So, prior restraint, hindi mo pa nga alam anong sasabihin ko, pinasis-and-desist mo na ako. So, as a free society with very strong freedom of speech values, that might be very difficult. But if it's possible, yes, that's possible. But very difficult to obtain.
question to Wasabel. Sir, what do you think the reason why na suddenly in-involve yung pangalan mo ni Maharlika dun sa do you think is there any person behind Maharlika to accuse you or say something bad about you?
As I said during the preliminaries, we would welcome and try to accommodate your questions. But if it's a question that will affect litigation strategy or the outcome of the case, please do forgive us, we will not answer. Kasi kung sagutin natin yan, malaki kami sa litigation strategy. But please take note of that question. After trial, sasagutin natin yan. I hope to see you again after trial. We'll see more of each other.
Abel, question na ano lang, no?
Mike, Tony, thanks.
Wait lang, saglit lang.
Mike.
Ayaw mag-Mike.
Di ba sabi din kasi ni Maharlika na siya daw yung nagpasikat sa'yo. Ano yung ano mo doon? Masabi mo doon?
I started designing when I was 17. So, nagkaroon ako ng show in abroad na mga 1995. So, I think parang hindi naman okay na sabihin na siya nagpasikat. Kayo siguro makakapagsabi kung sino ako. So, hindi ko alam kung siya nagpasikat sa akin. Thank you so much. Pero sa akin kasi,
Pasensya na po kayo kung
matagal
mahina
kong
po yung boses
pinaghirapan
kasi
yung
yun lang po yung
pangalan ko.
nasasagap natin.
Ang dami-dami kong pinagdaanan para makarating kung saan man ako ngayon. Kung 100 steps ang aakyatin ko is naka 50 na siguro ako. Kaya hindi ko hahayaan
Please
na
maximize na lang po yung volume
dito
niyo
lang
para
ako
marinig.
tayong pinaghirapan.
I'd also like to answer that question, not as your lawyer, but as your friend. From fun and friend. Almost 30 years ago, I attended a debut of a very beautiful lady with very fine face. That lady wore an another dress. So, Pagal was already so bright during that time. And how do I know that this lady has a fine face? Because many years later, she became my wife.
Ayo.
Ito no. Meron kang si Abel, meron siyang US lawyer.
I'm a lawyer.
American.
Kahit hindi
So,
yes.
I qualified to practice. Hindi ako mukhang foreigner, but I know US federal law.
pangalan may
Si Attorney Lisa Sana.
We have a collaborating council in California. And please go also, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our US counsel, Cindy, my good friend. Cindy is no less than the managing partner of Dwayne Morris Los Angeles. It's a huge law firm with 20 plus offices in the US. So we're dealing with high caliber lawyer. She was multi-awarded and we met each other in an awarding ceremony in the American Bar Association. So if you have a copy of the complaint, you will see there that it was signed by Cindy, and Cindy is a top-notch lawyer.
Kay Abel, tanong ko lang, kamusta yung ni FL ngayon, ni Ate Lisa?
Actually, hindi naman kami nag-uusap ni FL. Client ko siya. That's professional. Yung usapan namin very professional lang. So, hindi rin ako nagsusumbong kung ano. Kasi ayaw ko nga ng, alam ko na. So, wala kami communication about this.
Then, anong reaction and support din nakukuha mo sa showbiz friends mo and clients?
Actually, it's a very good question. Well, yung mga taong matagal ko ng kaibigan sa showbiz, kilala naman nila ako kung sino ako. So, they sending me a prayers. Sabi niya, kaya mo yan, mas kilala ka namin. Nakakatuwa kasi yung mailbox ko sa Facebook and Instagram and my social media. Lahat sila, 95% is supporting kung ano yung ginagawa ko. Kasi ever since, kilala nila ako kung sino ako. At wala akong tinatago sa lahat. Kung ini-interview ako, wala akong tinatago. Kasi ako to eh. So hindi ko kailangan mag-pretend kung sino ako. So may mga negative na nagsisend sa akin. Pero sabi ko nga parang 31 millions. So 1% lang ng masin o negative. So hindi ako bothered sa kanila.
Abel, do you have a message to Maharlika?
No.
That's a nice answer.
Mostly expected siguro ng mga admins sa inyo na baka sabihin ng iba na inutusan kayo ng part ng politics.
Wala po. Wala. This is the initiative po ng aming pamilya. And then my sister is here, si JJ, kasi nadadamay po yung pamilya nila. I'm with my sister since magkabata pa kami, talagang wala talaga kami. Kaya hanggang ngayon, support. Nakilala ni Maharlika ng sister ko. Dinala ko pa siya sa Tagaytay. We eat, nag-lunch kami. In-accept siya sa namin bilang kaibigan talaga. Bilang tao, bilang kaibigan. Kasi my family is religious kasi kami. So parang pag pumunta sa amin ng isang tao na bukas loob naman namin tao. So, yun.
Ba't may nagtatanong dito? Totoo ba na sabi daw dito, totoo ba na ginawa daw, pinabibili daw kayo ni Maharlika ng pagkain niyo?
Actually, hindi pinabibili, pinibigyan namin siya ng food.
Okay.
Nagluluto yung sister ko at dinadala sa kanya.
Tanong lang po, kasi kilala ko kayo na supporter. Kilala kayo na supporter ni PBBM. So, at si Maharlika kasi ang tawag ko sa kanya. Si Maharlika naman ay kilala na ngayon na anti-PBBM. So, may nagtatanong lang, baka naman inaatake kayo dahil sa politika. At baka naman may nagkukumpas.
Same question, sir.
That's possible, and that's also related to my earlier answer that what is the motive behind these attacks? We don't want to speculate this, but that's a possible. There are various possibilities. Please do understand with us if we invoke the Fifth Amendment, right? Kasi that can affect the
prejudice one.
Are there any more questions? Abel or Attorney Baclan?
Simple lang naman, tapos
May question pa ako, last question. Tatanong ko lang, Abel, kung pupunta po ba kayo sa US para makaharap sa siya?
If this case goes to trial, Abel will need to go to court to attend sit on the witness stand.
Ano po kaya inyong first reaction pag nakita niyo siya? Anong first reaction niyo? Sana nasa likod niyo ako para akong taga. Joke lang.
We'd like for the truth to come out. That's the reason why we fight against. Hindi dahil sa vengeance or hate, but just to hear Abel's truth.
Correct.
Because maraming nagsasabi na, why you keep silent? Because I know you're that type of guy, but you are not going na tatapakan natin ang hate with hate, revenge with revenge and fury with fury. When I saw you in your office when I was interviewing, I saw you working diligently, peacefully, and I saw in your work exudes peace, harmony, and resilience. That even in this crazy world that you were being attacked, you were just focusing on work to produce work that are artistic and shows peace. Hindi personal, hindi ko na, nung I was interviewing already, hindi ko nakita sa kanya na bakbakan natin yan kasi alam niya, no. I always saw peace. And this is the reason why we fought against, simply for the truth to come out. And I would also like to thank you for attending this because this will make our job easier for the truth to come out. Kasi maraming nagsasabi, magsalita ka naman kasi ano ba talaga nangyayari dyan? Here it is. You simply want the truth to come out. Walang binigay na relo wala kaming natanggap or pinagkat na pera from PDWH. And the visa, both Schengen and US visas, were issued regularly. Those facts are very easy to establish. We will establish that before a US jury.
Abel, message ng mga kababayan natin. Asa likod mo daw sila. Support sila sa'yo.
Yes. Of course, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Nakakataba ng puso kasi bilang isang taga Bicol, patuloy na nangangarap pa rin. Hindi lang para sa akin, kundi para sa ating mga Pilipino. Ako naman bilang isang designer is, kaya nandito pa rin ako kasi gusto kong isulong yung mga pamana sa atin ng ating mga ninuno na kultura at sining. So yun ang focus ko ngayon. Kaya lang, may mga bagay tayong tumatalikod na kailangan harapin. Pero ito isang yugto naman ito ng ating buhay. Na kailangan pag natapos ito, isang yugto ulit na para sa ating mga Pilipino at para sa ating mga weavers at mga embroidery, para naman sa kanila talaga itong laban.
Okay na.
Last one.
Sabi ng mga viewers namin, na nasa likod ko daw sila.
Maraming.
Ay, may mga vloggers na sa likod.
Alam ko naman yon. Salamat.
Last na lang, kasi sabi ng isa kong viewer dito, sabi ng isa kong viewer, sana daw gusto lang makita may kulong.
Tony.
Oo nga. Gusto
Wala
nila
daw.
may kulong eh.
May kulong.
Wala pa daw imprisonment.
Okay.
Possible po ba?
There's that possibility. But again, kasi nung nakausap, si Abel yung client. Kasi kung ano ang gusto niya, that is really just for his name to be clear, for the truth to come out. And yung pagkulong, even if remotely possible, hindi ko rin gagawin na sila lawyer. So wala akong instruction kaya. Kulong ang hataan, kulong talaga yan, kulong talaga. So we won't do that. Our main objective, our main and primary objective is really for the best good name and reputation to remain. Because nasisira na siya with an accusation that mangangamkam ka and corrupt ka is serious. And there are instances when random people can just ridicule you because of these defamatory lines. So wala kang kulong, wala. Because my client did not instruct me na mangulong.
Sorry po, wala
We
daw.
will- But we will not be working on that litigation stuff.
Attorney, sorry. Follow up lang. Dito ba sa Pilipinas, yung ginawa ni Maharlika, even though nasa US siya, and then bawal din naman, like, cyber libel dito sa Pilipinas, is it possible na magsampa rin ng kaso rito si Abel kahit na nandun siya, and then is it possible din na mapapunta siya rito sa Pilipinas or like using the extradition? Marami kasi mga Filipino nagtatanong, so mas mabuti na ang sasagot po kay isang abogado.
Okay. Possible ba na makasunod siya? Possible. Possible na mag-issue ng warrant of arrest. But the challenge now is how to enforce that warrant of arrest because laws are territorial in nature, especially criminal laws. So, yun ang pagiging challenge.
Pwede ba may extradition treaty tayo?
Defamation is not among the extradition offenses.
Thank you.
Ito last ko na to. Sabi ni Maharlika, ex-BFF ka niya, di ba? So dati ka ng BFF. Ito yung tanong ko. Papaano kung magmakaawa si Maharlika sa'yo at
Huwag mong
ikukulong
patawarin.
lahat ng to?
Siguro, for now hindi ko alam. Kasi bilang ka-Diyos, hindi ko alam. Kaya attorney po yun.
Okay. Whether a case should be settled or not actually is the final say of the client. A lawyer has no say whether to pursue a case or settle. Sinabi ng client, settle. Kahit yung abogado gustong bakbakan natin at tuloy natin, a lawyer has to settle and follow the client as a matter of legal ethics. Okay. But we will think about it. As I've said, most cases are settled 70%, 80%. Most cases in the US are settled even before the filing of an answer. Okay. So yun pala, discuss ko na. Wala kasi may nagtanong eh. What are the possible next phases. So next phases as either one, the defendant files an answer, refuting, trial tayo, lakas natin yung evidence natin. Two, just ignore it, tanong dyan, and in which case, there will be a judgment by default. Three, initiate na negotiation and settlement. In fact, it's a requisite of, so most cases are settled. So yun, those are the three main next phases.
Sir, last na lang. Ano kaya pag nalipag kayo si Maharlika sa inyo?
Ayun na yung...
Yun na nga. Yan yung tanong niya kanina.
Pwede naman patawarin, pero kailangan talaga dalain. Kasi wala eh. Uulitin sa iba yun.
Magkakambayan na lang mag-isa.
Nasa likod mo ako, Abel. Ako ang guardian angel.
Forgiveness and pagpapakla natin para sa okay. Thank you very much again.
Sword.
Abel, may question ako. Naalala ko lang, sino yung binanggit ni Maharlika na bata sa vlog? About ko sa passport.
Oh, actually, isa pa to sa pinaka nag-file kami ng case kasi nadamay niya yung aking pamangkin na walang kaalam-alam dito na tinatawag pa siyang tita. So, ito talaga yung hindi namin pwedeng palagpasin kasi kung pinoprotektahan niya yung apo niya, ganun din namin pinoprotektahan yung pamangkin.
Nandun po yung speaker. Napakalayo po sa amin.
Specifically named the child was named in one of the plans, and that's foul. Innocente yung bata. And in a defamation case, as I've already said, the next generation will either whip or suffer the bad
citizen niya.
So in this case, sinisiraan sila. And the negative, yung destroyed reputation niya will be suffered by the younger generation. And one of that is yung bata na pinag-usapan natin. So maybe that's one reason na sinihirapan kaya ako magpatawad. So that's also one of the main driving force bakit sinabi natin na enough is enough. We have to clear Abel's good name and his family's name.
Question
Ma'am
again.
Shamilia, ako na lang po sasagot dun sa tanong niyo. Hindi na natin kailangan itanong sa kanila. Since si Maharlika
Sino
po ay isang
totoo
US
nagpakilala sa
citizen,
inyo?
so
Small, large,
impossible po siguro na kahit mag-petition kayo,
kasi
mapaport
lumalabas
namin
dun
siya
sa
from
blog niya,
US to Philippines.
siya ang parang nagbibigit sa
So,
attorney.
that might affect litigation strategy. And we will answer that. If this
Ngayon tanong ko.
after this case, we will answer.
Anong tanong nito?
Abel, ano yung lesson na natutunan mo dito sa pangyayari?
Ano bang lesson ang natutunan ni Abel
Actually, ako
sa
kasi yung
nangyari?
tao na kahit sino yung lumapit, nangangailangan, tutulungan. Nagkataon lang ng that time in 2020, nung ako'y is called to cancel ng mga tao because I'm supporting the president. Doon siya lumapit sa akin. So, ang lesson ko na natutunan is bukas pa rin tayo sa lahat ng bagay. Pwede natin i-accept lahat ng taong pumupunta, pero kailangan natin muna silang parang kailangan muna natin silang kilalanin yung pagkatao nila. Isa sa pinakamasakit din na nangyari sa akin is binigay ko lahat bilang tao, bilang pumasok ng, kasi ako yung tao rin na pag binigay ko, lahat-lahat ibibigay ko. Kasi mahirap ako magpapunta sa condo ko, mahirap din ako magpapunta sa shop ko, at mahirap din na introduce ko siya sa family ko like my sister. Pero lahat yun na pagdaanan ko at dinala ko siya doon. So ibig sabihin, open ako sa kanya. Ang pagkakamali ko lang at hindi ko pinagsisisihan. At marami rin ako natutunan. Yun lang po.
Thank you.
Attorney.
If you imagine yourself in the shoes of may mga culture tayo na pag pinapasok mo sa bahay mo, ibig sabihin, trusted ka na talaga. Close. Close ka na talaga. So that's the level of openness that Abel gave to Gabriel. Pero magkakilala sila, sinabi pa ng Gabriel. Wala man lang warning na, Abel, nagbigay ka ba talaga ng luxury timepiece na wala man lang, all of a sudden, so you can just imagine the pain and the pressure that you really feel. Yes, ma'am.
Sige, okay na po.
Ay,
Kailangan ka lang floating line sa US.
Wala.
Wala pa.
Wala po.
Soon.
Wala sa isip ko. Dito na lang sila umorder para makatulong din sa akin.
Attorney, what if daw, this question is in behalf of my viewer. So, paano daw po kung sila ang mag-file ng yung mga netizen para ma-deport daw si Maharlika? Is it possible?
Or on what grounds?
May petition. I-petition daw siya.
As I understand, Maharlika is a US
Yes.
citizen. Hindi basta-basta i-report because she's a US citizen. She will be protected by US laws.
Alright, so the same thing ng sinabi ko po sa inyo kanina, mga kagono. Sinagot din ni attorney since si Maharlika ay isang US citizen, so that's impossible na siya ay mapaliport.
Hindi ko awa si Presidente. Kasi grabe. Gigigil ako.
Do we have any more questions from the audience?
No, we're good.
No.
Ito na lang, yung tanong na lang sa akin. I-stated kasi ng kawawa. Actually, kawawa yung maraming tao na
Hindi naman po mahirapan kasi sa US naman po siya lilitisin. So, doon i-file yung kaso. So, in order for them to, if ever that there will be a trial, then definitely sila po ay pupunta doon sa US.
Who refused to take the case because of the toxic nature ng different. Baka sila yung maging
Toxic si Maharlika. Kitin sila.
So there's a short answer to that, but I'd like the longer version. If you rephrase the question, attorney, gusto mo bang maging target ni Claire sa Mabolja? The answer to that is definitely no. I don't want to be the target of those kinds of statements, of those kinds of attacks. Because I know how hurtful it is. Binabasa ko pa lang yung transcript, hindi ko ba nakikita yung video mo na. It's very painful and I know ako binabasa ko lang how much more to Abel is really the target here. So I don't like to be the target. I don't like that culture to be the norm na sa mga eskwelahan ng children natin, ganun lang ang magiging norms na crass na nauusapan. I don't like that to be the norm. But I won't shy away and I won't run away from my responsibility to defend who are those who suppress, especially for offending me, kahit mabolja na po. If that's really what will happen, I'm ready to use it. But I don't.
Pero ikaw, if ever na bodjaking galing, hindi kasuhan natin siya ulit.
That's a possibility. That's not in the Trump case. Trump case.
Ikaw na yung topic niya ngayon.
Si attorney nakabukang kang. Attorney, kakalkalin yung buhay nyo. Maliit pa kayo.
Masasabi ko, wala akong ginagawa.
Hindi, pag ginawa pala kayo kami ng gano'n.
That's a possibility. Again, the case is really about examining and it's really about someone to face responsibility and accountability of his actions for publishing the Bungangera. If she continues to do that, then there will be more responsibility.
Correct. Every time naman na magkano ka ng masama, pwede naman i-dagdag sa kaso na yun.
Yes.
Ayun.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good? I'm good.
We're good.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for helping us spread the truth. because our friends in the media sector, the bloggers, you are instrumental in helping us spread the truth.
Thank you din po.
Okay, thank you.
On behalf of the Sudakuyo, we are very grateful for your presence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, so yan yung
Alright, katatapos lang to ng Prescon ni
sabay-sabay na.
Thank you, pare.
Ayun. So, ayun na mga kababayan, mga kagaw. So, yan po yung balita natin ngayon dito sa Prescon na nangyari. So, si Maharlika, medyo nalalapit-lapit na yung kanyang pagbabayad ng kanyang mga ginawa. Siyempre. Diba? Kasi, at thank you so much mga kababayan doon sa mga nag-ask ng question at sa mga sumama sa atin ngayon, diba? Napaka ganda po ng ginawang talakayan na to. At syempre, ito ay kami po ay honor namin ito sa mga pag-imbita sa amin dito sa pinagkakatiwalaan na mag-program, di ba? Magpakita po ng ng kanilang Prescon, di ba? At makapagtanong ng mga bagay-bagay na gusto nyo ring itanong.
Grabe din po. Grabe.
Pangunahing rason, bakit para para malinis yung pangalan niya.
Medyo kasi umibita doon sa
hirap ng defendant na say where
So, after naman yung nila pwede rin ang so, simula po sila sa
of course, actually, the defendant is this case is based in Los Angeles, California. She's included in her video that she's based in Los Angeles. And that's also one of the reasons why the US is reporting to find the case before the US
para sa mga tao.
Salamat po, sir.
Salamat.
Ayun, pasensya na kayo at medyo maingay at hindi nyo naririnig yung medyo mahina yung audio mga kababayan. Anyway, mamaya ipapaliwanag po natin yan doon sa bahay pagka tayo po ay nag-live stream kasi medyo mahirap dito, nagsasabay-sabay po kami at nagsasapawan, mahirap kasi dami namin mga vloggers dito. So, kita-kita po soon. Maraming salamat po muli at magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Bye-bye!